Okay, this is response to others for Project 7. Um, First person I am responding to is Zatoria Elliott. And she's for the reading project one. So first thing, for her transform passage, she talks about how the narrator dreamt about the kid or had a nightmare about the kid, and how that kind of transformed how she transformed like emotionally, and how she felt like how she wanted to help the dirty kid and also felt concerned about him. She had an emotional transformation for sure. And then for the not transformed part, she talks about really the overall story, how it ended, and how she didn't really take action after hearing about the death as well as the disappearance of the dirty kid. Um, and really how she continued to live her life. That kind of is how Zatoria explained her not transforming, as well as there was not much more, like a major change that occurred that was so obvious as well. So overall, kind of she believed that she not fully transformed, which I agreed with. I just took a whole different aspect though. I didn't necessarily, I agree with her like synopsis basically, but I just didn't have the same, I didn't use the same passages, and then I looked at it like their transformation at a different context. So I still agree with her synopsis though. And so she said not fully transformed, and I agree. She says that the narrator felt new conflicting emotions but didn't take action. And so something that really stuck out though, and which was a really good overall evaluation, was emotional awareness occurred. However, real change actually requires action. And that's something that really stuck out to me. Overall, I did love her video. Next is Kayla Bush. Kind of the same with Zatoria for sure. She dreams about how the narrator, Caleb, talks about how the nightmare about the kid kind of showed that the narrator actually did transform into someone who actually cares about, the dirty kid, kind of transform how she's not just a bystander, but actually involved in the story now. However, her not the narrator not transforming is like kind of showed through her complacency with the 30 kids' disappearance as well as with the death that has happened. And really saying what the narrator kind of said that showed Caleb that she didn't transform was that the narrator said these things happen. Kind of brush it off. That was her overall like thing after learning about everything that had happened, which shows that she didn't transform. And then, but overall, he believes that she did transform. Kind of, and he uses the end as evidence of how she chased the drug addict mother, as well as just her waiting for the kid to knock on the door as being transformed. It's like Zatoria and Caleb had the same ideas but came to different conclusions. Next is Ryan Ibarra, and that's for the Las Meninas. So he sees movement. And he's also, something that stuck out to me was that he said that us looking around the painting as the viewers is the king and queen's movement since we are in their place. But overall, he does feel like the fact that he feels like this like cool interesting fact doesn't add to the understanding of the painting. But with him, I personally didn't see movement, but I did come to the same conclusion that that fact did not add to the understanding of the painting. As well as I think I took it really straightforward with the movement part. I think that's why I didn't see movement, is because how I feel like he's explaining the movement is really just as what you think that they should be doing in that current moment. That, like you say, a photograph was taken and they were just caught in the moment doing something. When I think of like a painting, like movement in a painting, I think of like optical illusions. So like when you look at a painting, you can stand there, and then you could like see movement happening just like through your eyes playing tricks, but it's also because of how the painter painted the painting, not necessarily a photograph painting where everything's still. But that's just how I saw it. Next is Riley Hendricks, also for Las Meninas. She believes there could be movement, especially with the ladies in waiting, considering it's like all about that they're the title of the painting, right? Um, she also believes that it also adds context, which is something different. And the reason she says that is because like the painting is really about the Infanta and the ladies in waiting, Las Meninas. And that's why the main movement with them adds to the context, is because they are the main focus, which was quite different. So overall, that's the response to others.